What's poppin', everybody? This is Saber94. Gonna be playing some Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel matches with Monarchs today. Certainly one of my more modern favorites, if you can even call it that, modern. The structure deck with the big support came out in 2015, 2016, I suppose, but Monarchs is a deck that has almost always been at least decent. Maybe it's not that great right now, and it hasn't been for some years, but it always has some sort of variant going around. And with the structure deck, they're basically a solid anti-meta deck, you could say. Certainly stronger than some other decks. But anyway, my deck isn't a complete package. I didn't unlock all of the Monarch cards that I wanted, but it's certainly playable. Our opponent is using some pendulum stuff, it would seem. I Ash Blossom one of his cards, but he had the uh, Foolish, I always forget that. Called by the Grave, that's the name. It's not Foolish Burial, whatever. Called by the Grave, they always gotta have it, but it is what it is. He was gonna do other stuff anyway. Uh, Doing some of these Pendulum, Magician, Endymion stuff, those were cards also from like a structure deck as well. Like the Endymion, I remember Jay Witz made that video about it. Longest text on a card is like a freaking essay basically on a card, like a little like a little project essay, you could say. Anyway, um, and he's still special summoning. Got the link whore here with the spell counters. It's gonna go for a pendulum summon. I thought he did by now, but I guess he's gonna do this now. So here comes more of these spellcasters, and I do have some cards I can utilize. As you guys can see, I have some of the kaijus in this deck. It actually just works really nicely because the kaijus in this deck, obviously you can use them to get rid of a problematic monster your opponent has, like a Baron de Flirt. But the thing is that if I don't have a Monarch, I can actually just tribute summon them. And it's not going to be the same, you're not going to reap the benefits, but Monarchs always had the problem of either you have all of the means to tribute summon, but you don't have a Monarch, or you do have a bunch of Monarchs stuck in your hand without a way to tribute summon them. And that's always been an issue, even with the new support like Pandeity, the Tenacity of the Monarch search card. They're always going to have this problem. They do have a Searcher, I guess, that little continuous spell card that came out in, I think it was Legacy of the Valiant or Shadow Specters, but it's not that consistent, and I'm not a fan of running it. We need like a straight spell card, like a straight searcher, let's say, that just lets you grab a Monarch or something. Anyway, so I got rid of one of his problem monsters, stole one of the Pendulum big guys too, and the reason why I had to make these sort of specific plays was because a lot of those monsters he had on the board did some really annoying stuff, like this guy negating shit, putting cards back in hand, that sort of thing, preventing your opponent from playing. So somehow, some way, I sort of fucked him over of the resources. I guess he couldn't believe it. Rage quitting. It says connection failed, but I always get when it's a connection problem or it's just a dude rage quitting. So yeah, couldn't believe what happened, but that's what you get. You should not underestimate the Monarchs. So game two, let's see what this guy's going to be doing. Play two back row. I'm going to use Tenacity and grab Pandeity, discard. Forgot the name, but the other continuous spell card that prevents your Monarchs for tribute summon monsters from being destroyed by effects, and it can't be targeted by effects too. It's quite good. I've always been an advocate of pure Monarchs, like Dominion Monarchs, the Field Spell Monarchs, without an extra deck, because that's just what they do best. I was never a fan. I know WK Dad did make like videos back in the day. Probably nobody knows who this guy is, probably, but with extra deck Monarchs and how they can be more explosive, it's not what they do best. These guys want to tribute summon and they want to control the board basically. So just focus on what they do best. So he's going to chain Infinite Impertinence on my Thestalos there, Mega Thestalos, so I didn't get the poke from the hand. It's fine. I run this guy. I used to run one in my like old deck. Just a nice extra Monarch that can poke a card, not just Erebus. And, he's pretty good. You get to pick as well. This dude also surrendering prematurely. But I mean, you get some pretty great control once you get a Monarch and then the field spell. It's annoying because back then there wasn't any Harpies, Feather Duster, Heavy Storm, Lightning Storm to pop all your stuff. Now, if you have like the field spell and the other face up Monarch spell, they can just use like a Harpies Feather Duster and there goes your setup. It's quite annoying. Those cards should not be around, but there's just so many broken cards that if you just get rid of these, other sort of back row decks and other strategies become more broken. So it's just a whole clusterfuck as always with Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, so Pandaddy, once again, we're going to get our search, and I'm going to get the, man, what's the damn name? I'm just trying to read it from the screen. Oh, God. This one came out in, I think it was Cosmo Blazer or Lord of the Tachyon, actually. Yeah, a lot of people think that when the structure deck came out, all of these like new Monarch support cards came out in one package, but they were actually sort of slowly, staggeringly releasing them in the Zexal era and the Arc 5 era, and then they came out with the structure deck that had Erebus and the vassals, eidos, eidea, all those dudes. Okay, so this dude is doing the OTK shit with the damn what the fuck is the name? I forgot again. This stupid like machine field spell. I just summons these dudes and they just go for an OTK basically. Just free 4 XYZ summons for free. Now, thankfully, I did have an out against this dude. When I'm playing against this deck, you do have some outs, and it's the back row Monarch trap card, that special summon itself. Once again, the name escapes me when I'm recording. I just forget everything. So it's gonna chain Call by the Grave and get rid of eidos. That kind of sucks, but I guess I'm gonna get rid of the other shit. And gonna go for Pandeity, Pantheism, whatever. A Monster Reborn. Let's search something with Pandeity. And he decided to give me the Stadium, but it's fine because I'm just going to dump it to get Erebus back. So now we're going to use Tenacity, and I'm going to get the Monarch Stormfort, yeah, anyway. Tribute the dude, get rid of him because it would have been a problem, and then go for Erebus. So gonna get rid of the only card in his hand, leave him with no card advantage. That's what you get for doing this bullshit strategy. And I'm even gonna steal his dude. This Link dude, Infinite Track Fortress, that he summoned for free basically through the stadium, is a dude that's immune to everything, I think, unaffected by everything or something like that. Maybe when his Link summoned. So not quite game, but he only has 500 life points left. What are you gonna do with this setup? Just gonna get one card and just end phase. Yeah, just submit into his defeat. That's good. I hate this OTK bullshit with the field spell, whatever the name is right now. You send the other spell card from the deck to the graveyard and then you summon those 4 XYZs. Made many videos talking about it. It's bullshit. I mean, it looks like an innocent deck compared to what the Flower and Drees fuckers can do and some other bullshit. But it's still just an easy way to OTK your opponent without any skill, basically. Okay. Now this guy, he's going to start really strong with a Fusion Destiny play. But thankfully, Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer is a card that we can deal with Monarchs. I'm going to summon the Earth Vassal here, the Rock Vassal, another card that I really like. Used it back in the day too. Many people wouldn't run it, but it's a free summon. Put in something face down as well. And it can also give you one of the other vassals, like 800 attack, 1000 defense from the graveyard to the hand. You can grab eidos or eidea with them. It's not going to be very effective now that there's links, because you can't flip those in defense mode. But it worked out really nicely here with Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. So popping his shit and getting rid of a Mirror Force as well with the MST there. We're going to get Dominion. Let's play that down. And I mean, it's a bit risky to summon more monsters. You know, the field is open. You never know. Maybe you could have had like Tarantula or something. But I'm thinking, what are the odds? Let's just risk it. Get this over with. It looks like it wasn't a torrential. It was the Forbidden Droplet. Okay, fine, dude. But you're still minus a lot. And I would say he didn't gain too much. I mean, my attack points are back to full strength. And looks like he's using Despia shit too. I'm gonna chain the Ash Blossom and branded in red. He's gonna do some shit here with these dudes. Okay. Gonna get the 3k guy back in hand. But I did negate the Alumber. And all he can do is kill eidos, which is fine. Only 3,000 life points left. I think I can take care of him depending on what we draw here. I mean, I got the big light monarch in hand anyway, so it should be good. So here comes the Earth Vassal through eidos. Decrease my level, summon my big guy, and then he's just going to surrender right there. A GG indeed. Okay. So next game, I'm going to open up with... I got a Monarch. Like when you open with the Heavenly Square there, you know, in a Monarch, you know you got to play if they don't negate your shit. And I've got the... God. What's the name of this card? I always forget. March of the Monarchs. That's right. It's the March of the Monarchs. Okay. And this dude is going to chain this Paleozoic Pikaia immediately. So, I mean, if he's running those cards, it's going to be more back row. But Maxi, that's very unfortunate there. I think I might have to give him the free card though. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I could have done eidea, just do eidos, save the eidea, I guess so, minus with the Maxi. So that's good. Didn't even have to give him a card. So Erebus, it's going to get a special summon through that though. And gonna attack for a lot of damage here. Like when you can make this play with oh god, I forgot this card's name too. The Light Monarch, the good guy that's supposed to be against Erebus. Ethel something. Damn, whatever. I'm thinking of a Duel Masters card. Anyway, just gonna go for the final attack, but he did have the Storming Mirror Force. He will survive. Gonna chain the Paleozoic back row from the graveyard as well. Alright. I can still make plays though. We're gonna activate Pandeity, Pantheism in the graveyard and get me some stuff. It's gonna give me the Tenacity. Okay. Erebus, get the Monarch Stormforth. Gonna activate Monster Reborn actually and get eidos. When you summon this dude, he is gonna gain the effect, and since this is through a special summon, I can basically summon 2 Monarchs if I do shit right. So, Erebus, that's what's up. Send 2 cards, get a card from his hand, and then we're gonna summon eidea too. It's gonna chain a trap card, this Lost Wind. I think it negates an effect. And Pikaia, activate once again. Yeah, if he's not gonna be summoning things like Baron de Flirt or other problematic monsters, you know, the Kaiju in my hand isn't really gonna have much use. So Gonna discard a card to pop my stuff. He popped the Match of Monarchs, and he's gonna get rid of the field spell too. Okay, so there goes my protection. Now he can special summon, and yeah, it looks like this is a sort of frog, totally awesome deck or whatever. It's gonna go for Marina's Coral Bitch though, and I'm gonna summon the trap monster monarch basically, and Pilozoic Anoma, whatever the fuck. I'm not even gonna bother with his name. And this dude pops cards. It needs 3 monsters XYZ, but it's not too bad. I can deal with him. I'm gonna get a free card through eidea. Nice sort of a Witch of the Black Forest effect. So he did put a little bit of pressure, but I mean I can just out his ass. Now we don't have a monarch, but we do have the kaiju, the dark kaiju, and let's see, eidos gonna get Erebus back. His effect that you can just grab him back from the graveyard is just so handy sometimes when you can't make a different play. I had to sacrifice my Stormfoot there, but it just works out. Gonna sacrifice, tribute eidea. Here comes my big dude, and we're gonna spin a card. Which one will it be? Put the link back in the deck. I mean, no, there's no point choosing my own kaiju because I'm just gonna go back in the deck, not in the hand anyway. And oh god, another Storming Mirror Force. Yeah, you don't see them coming when it's two. Like it just goes with every Mirror Force. You see one, you're thinking okay, but he did have a second one. I guess heavy duty back row deck. My dudes went back in the deck, but I still have the advantage. A lot more life points and just more cards that float. It's just how this game goes right now. I mean, the more cheating cards you have, and I say cheating in a way, I'm not cheating, obviously. I mean, this is what the Monarch cards do, but it's just the fact of more cards that replace themselves, so you can just keep up with card advantage, make more plays, and still you see what you until you see what you need. And these Pilozoic cards sort of do the same thing, revive him from the graveyard. But I have this guy on the ropes. So he's going to put his own card back in hand with compulsory. I don't know what the point of that was, but there must be a reason. I don't think he's stupid enough. He knows that he can't target my dude since I've got the March of the Monarchs. So spin a card once again, the back row, and I don't think he can escape this time. He surrendered, and that's a GG. I guess he was banking on the back row, maybe another Storming Mirror Force. But it's a GG. Hope you guys enjoyed these matches with Monarchs. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What